What if I told you that the one thing you can't live without is the very thing that's stealing your life away? And it's not just a habit, it's an addiction. And the worst part is you already know it. So let's talk about the device that's in your hand, right? How it's quietly unraveling everything that matters. So it's the phone. We all know it. You know it. Even if you don't want to admit it, somewhere deep down, you feel it. You feel the way it's creeping in, taking over. And today, I'm not here to just sugarcoat this. I want to lay it all out for you. Just raw, real, unfiltered. Because this thing in your pocket, this screen in your hand, is doing more than just distracting you. It's rewiring you. It's shaping how you see the world. And worse, it shapes how you see yourself. So let's sit with you for a second. We've become obsessed with something, right? That's breaking us apart piece by piece, moment by moment. And it's stealing from us. And here's the wild part about that too. It wasn't even meant to be like this. Originally, this device was supposed to connect us, to make life easier. And sure, in some ways it has. And it still does in many ways. But somewhere along the way in the relationship with this, it stopped being a tool and started being a trap. So the duality of life is ever present, right? What was once a gift has now become the very thing pulling us away from the things that mattered most. So in some respects, some aspects, I like to say, are you cursed with the blessing or blessed with the curse? I don't know. So if you're honest with yourself and you know it, you feel it every time you open up your phone for a quick scroll and look up an hour later, wondering where the time went. Yeah, this is for you. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you really enjoyed life? Like fully present, no distractions, just you in the moment. I imagine it's hard, isn't it, to think about that, to reflect back on when that was last. Because the real world can't compete with the overstimulation that we're feeding to ourselves. This is the endless streams of content, the dopamine hits every time that you swipe, every time you scroll. It's addictive and it's dulling everything else. So how many hours have you spent scrolling today? Be real with yourself. And you're probably telling yourself that it was okay at the time it was happening too. Maybe you even justified it and you're justifying it now as you're listening to this. Like, I'm learning something, or this content is helping me. And sure, maybe 10% of it is, but the other 90% is junk, is noise, is frying your brain. You tell yourself it's fine, but the real conversation, if you're being radically honest with yourself, when we justify something like that to make it make sense, it's because we're afraid. We're afraid of missing out. There's a fear, FOMO, fear of missing out, is what keeps you scrolling, consuming, staying plugged in. You don't want to miss the trends or the gossip, the news, the fake sense of belonging. That's the big issue here. It's the fake sense of belonging, artificial belonging. And in the word belonging is more like be, which is like something is happening to you. Like there's a setting upon of longing. And so when you make that artificial, it just makes you more disconnected, because this is a machine. This is not a living being. And we have these bodies and these minds, these senses, these faces for recognition and acknowledgement and for deep connection, because that's who we've been ever since creation, since time immemorial. So here's another ugly truth. All that noise is playing out, or that's playing out in your insecurities, because of the way you choose to be with the device, with the machine. Someone is making money off of it. Think about that, right? I appreciate having money in my pocket. I appreciate helping people. I'm grateful that I can. I'm grateful that I've gotten to this place in my life where I've had enough life experiences to be through many ups and downs, many relationships, many wins and losses, that I can actually say, here, I want to take care of others in a way that what I'm saying is just coming from a place of saying, wake up. Why is there negativity everywhere? Why does it seem trendy to be broken or to be depressed and to identify that way? To be a victim? Why do you feel like the world is always in chaos? It's because that chaotic feeling, that thing where it's like, oh, you just cannot help but watch it because it's going to be a wreck. That's what keeps you engaged. It keeps you scrolling, and the people running these platforms, they profit off of that. They profit off of your suffering. Every click, every like, every second you spend comparing yourself to someone else, that's a paycheck for them, easily. This isn't just about the phone anymore. It's about this loop. The same content, the same habits, the same emptiness, and then you wonder why nothing in your life changes. I mean, how can it? When you're stuck in that cycle every day, you're not changing your environment, you're not doing anything to detox from all of that, you're not doing things that help you remove and sever the addiction and the habituation. So let's break it down even further. It's normal and natural to want to be seen and to be heard. That's not a complication. That's actually very human. It's that desire that keeps us all engaged with each other in real time when we're together. But if you're feeling like this sense of, desire or need to be validated by strangers, that's an issue. That's a problem. Okay. So let's readdress that part, right? It's okay to want to be seen and to be heard because that's natural and it's not new. It's in our DNA. Even the quietest person, the introvert, the person that wants to isolate themselves, whatever, their existence matters to someone too. But the phone and the social media, it twists up this natural desire to have connection, because that's really what we want, and it's replacing it with likes and follows and views. Don't get me wrong, I need to be seen too in order for this message to go through. I need to reach as many people as possible. So I'm just like amping up my game because I believe I'm in a battle, I'm in a fight with the dumb stuff, with the distractions, with the things that keep you in a place of depression, in a place of pain. So when you don't get these things of being seen or heard or recognized or acknowledged or given some good language, to be talked to help bring you out of whatever, funk or despair that you're in, it will feel like that you don't matter. And that's the whole trap, is that biologically we need connection and belonging. True, natural, organic, real, in the flesh, live, in person kind of things. This is good too. You can get that feeling hormonally, but again, it's being wielded and used by other people. That's the trap. So you've seen it, you felt it. So why does this have to, be something even more confusing? Why does a post have millions of likes while yours only has 3? Well, suddenly, those 3 people, whoever they may be, 5 people, 8 people, they're living and breathing humans, and it won't feel like enough. That's the problem. This phone has warped our reality. And don't get me started on bots. That's just coming up in my mind right now. But we have this warped reality to the point where we're chasing strangers' approval. And this is what I was talking about, the validation. Like, something is wrong. If you're going to search for the approval and validation of strangers while ignoring the very people who actually care about you. So I'm going to tell you a little story. And this is a personal one for me. I've always had a difficult time with being on social media because of all the things I've been talking about. Now, I grew up with electronics. I was raised up in the 90s, so it was a very different time. I was always outside, with trees and rocks and in the water and the ocean, and with multi-generations, grandparents, aunties and uncles, my cousins are my age and older and younger. And for me, I was like, wow, this is us. This is life. This is what I understood as life. But I also watch TV and I would play video games every once in a while. But it wasn't dominating my life. It wasn't something that I constantly needed to have. It was something that I did because it was entertainment and it was fun. I didn't do it because I saw it as my connection to the world. I didn't do it because I imagined this is what I have to do to feel accepted or belong or validated. Because back when the world was enough, when the sound of birds in the morning and the feel of the grass and being under your feet and running around and playing and getting into play fights, whatever, that was everything. And we've lost that. So it's kind of that famous quote, you know. It's I think it's from 300, where it's like, give them nothing and take from them everything. Yeah, that's what we've happened. That's what's happened to us. We've traded what we've got for a screen, for this spirit of seeing, so I can constantly see and look. And it doesn't have to stay that way. You can take it back. You can put the phone down just like I did. You can walk outside. You can feel the sun on your skin. You can breathe in the air. You can listen to the world again. I'm not saying it'll be easy, you know, because the first day without it, you will feel restless. You will feel like you're missing something. You will feel all this issues of attachment, right? Because you're going to have attachment issues to the machine, to the spirit of seeing. But what you're really wanting to do, though, in that time is to really give yourself clarity and peace so that you can open up to real connection. You have to create the space, and something has to die in order for other things to live. I didn't make the rules. That's just how it is. Because truth is interpreted. Sometimes the greatest lie is hidden by a truth, right? But this is no lie. This right here is not the enemy, but it is a tool. So when the tool starts to use you, that's when it's time to take the power back. Because there's so much more to life than this. Real experiences, real relationships, and purpose. And that's where life actually happens. So take a moment today to step away and let the world remind you of its beauty. And remember this: you are more than the screen. Your life and your worth and your joy is all waiting for you outside of it. Go find it. You won't regret it. And if any of this has landed for you, and this feels like the path you want to walk on, come check out in the links below of my video, N.O.W Academy, here to help. There's so much ways that we're going to approach things physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, relationally, for you to get back into the driver's seat of your own life. And that's what we're here to do, to help you along in your journey so you can be the main character, so you can be him, so you can do the things that you need to do, or her. However you found this video, check out N.O.W Academy. We got this.